So, this evening's talk, the power of self-kindness. So before we go into this topic, I wanted to reflect all together a little bit in terms of what it means to call self. So if you're talking about power of self-kindness, what that self is, who that self is, and does that self need kindness or not? and also this notion of kindness, what kindness means. So sometimes you can be kind to somebody, that is not the best thing what you can do. You weaken somebody's strength by being kind to somebody. Or sometimes you're trying to be strong, which is not also good, you hurt somebody. So it depends on the meaning and definition of what that self is and what that kindness is. And of course, I don't think that there is one general thing that you can say for everybody. So that is, I think, actually the reason why we need to kind of reflect a little bit what that means. So just look at it first in this sense of self, okay? If I talk to you, then I would say, which self you're talking about? The self that you're talking about, is it like a child? Or is it like a teenage? Or is it like an adult? Or is it like an adult, healthy adult? Or is it a very confused and lost, deep into pain adult? How does that self look like? That makes sense? So if you're talking about, okay, of course we're talking about when we say self-kindness, now you look at in yourself. I say me. Of course when we say me, I'm not referring to my big self, which does not need kindness, which is a kindness. It does not need a kindness. You're wasting your time trying to be kind to that. So for sure, that is not the self that which needs the kindness. So which self is that which needs my kindness? Of course, when I look at that, then I see, how does that look like? I mean, if it's metaphorically, does it look like a child? Sometimes people talk about inner child. Or does it look like your cat, or your dog, or a child, teenage, adult? How does that self look like? Is it mature, grown up, or is it lost? How does that self look like? I'm sure that question is different for everybody. So you, in some sense, I think before we go into that, you have to figure out how does that self look like? Because if you don't know how does that self look like, then you don't know how to be kind, what kindness means to that. Kindness does not, sometimes I can, in the new age, in the situation, I can see sometimes people say, oh, you have to be kind to yourself, oh, like that kind of kindness. And it sounds nice, right? I don't know is the best thing you can do to that. It sounds nice. Because if you are being like that to the wrong person, that doesn't help. If it is like a teenage or little child, trying to be nice like that kind of nice does not work always. You have to be nice, but not that way. You have to show your strength. You have to show your boundaries. You have to show your limitations. You have to understand the conditions. Then you can be kind, but not that way. So there's a way to be kind to your dog, there's a way to be kind to your cat. Even the cat and dog, there's a difference in how you be kind. If you give something to your cat, probably cat feels, I got it. They're different characters. So which self is like that? So that, I think, maybe, I'm not saying you should not be nice to yourself. I know everybody wanted to hear probably here tonight, be nice to yourself, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, like, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. But, okay, I want to come into that a little bit later. So, let's start this idea of, before we go into that more, let's think about a little bit how you have not been kind to yourself. Okay, let's reflect that a little bit. Okay. Sometimes it clearly looks like people are not kind to themselves. Like, for example, if you ask them, are you nice to yourself, are you kind to yourself? People say, yes, of course I'm kind to myself. And then if you look what they do to themselves, they're not kind to themselves. They would be eating what they're supposed to be eating. Right? They say, I'm kind to myself. You put all the wrong things in your body, you're saying, I'm kind to my body. Does that look like a kind? No, you're not kind. Or the way you would, if you do something, if you have done some mistake, how hard you punish yourself. You punish yourself too hard. Like the experience of last time we were talking about experience of guilt, people carry on a lifetime. That's too strong a punishment to yourself. If you're having a kind of bad thought or bad day or something like that, or bad emotion or something like that, then you look at yourself, oh, you're doing the wrong thing. You should not have that kind of thought. Or you should not feel this way. Or you should not do this way. Constantly, you reject what is happening. Constantly, you're trying to control. You're trying to judge. Whatever is you're feeling, if you're feeling not very good, you're feeling not good. You have to respect that. Whatever reason you are not feeling good, you have to respect that. If you have a bad thought, you respect that. Respect that does not mean you have to do everything what thought says to do. That is not what respect means. Oh yes, like giving a candy to all the time giving candy to kids or something. Is that nice? No. You give sometime, but not that much. So for sure, I see that we are not kind. We are not enough kind to ourselves. We punish too hard to ourselves. As I said, like sometimes I'm very surprised, like as far as when I'm coming in the West, but when we were growing up, we did not, of course we know something, we did not so much about the dietaries, like foods and all the diet and things like that. So we were growing up, we were lucky, there was no bad food to eat, so we ate good food. But if there was a bad food, we would choose to eat bad food because we would go with that. For example, like we would not have when growing up in the monastery, there's not too much fatty foods. Just because butter is expensive, the oils is expensive, so we have very basic foods. But whenever we have opportunity, we would go for it, full gear, with no hesitation. But when coming in the West, people knowing so much how much people know, but still sometimes not paying attention, it just seems like ridiculous. Especially in the hospitals, we are supposed to be, advisors, telling people what to eat, not to eat. In every corner there's a bad food to put. Burgers and Cokes in every corner, So, knowingly doing what people do to themselves, it's shocking. If you don't know, then you don't know what you can do. So, what I'm saying is, clearly there is clearly the sense of lack of kindness. So that's one way. And then if you look the meaning of kindness, for me, it's I would look at the two ways of looking at the kindness. One kindness, of course, we talk about like being kind and nice to somebody, being compassionate to somebody. That's one way to be kind, and basically, sometimes the kindness loses its boundaries. Loses, like saying, I'm kind to myself, eat what you want to eat. I'm kind to my child, so let him do. I kind of, know one Tibetan family, and he gives burger all the time to his kid. I said, why are you doing that? He said, I was growing up, I did not get what I wanted. Now, I would like to give him whatever he wants it. And he wants a burger. That's what he gives. And this boy does not eat anything else than the burger now. Conditioned. So that is not, so some sense of some weak kindness has its own faults. So the way I look at the kindness is, it's more giving space, more giving respect, more giving some sense of warmth, like a spacious warmth. When I'm trying to be kind to myself, that's what I try. I don't do trying to be kind to like a kid or something like that. I try to be kind trying to be kind to the adult person. Just being open to it. For example, if I feel like not good, I just don't feel good. Then if I don't feel good, then I would not punish myself not feeling good. I will not look at myself, what's wrong with you today? I would not say that. For example, sometime I've given this example, is that our own pain, either is a physical or emotion, our own pain, is the way to be kind, at least trying to be kind as if you would be, how you treat those pain, how you treat that to your friend, your best friend. If your best friend comes to you with pain, how you treat your best friend. Just I think that maybe is the good thing. Just simply think that how would your best friend comes to you with sense of loss and sense of deep emotion, pain, comes to you, would you say, what's wrong with you? No, you would not say that. Would you say, sorry, I don't have a time? You would not say that. Would you say, I'll help you this time, don't mess up next time? Would you say that? No. So what you would do? What you would do, number one, be open. That's what we do. I mean, sometimes I feel like, people come with their problems or something like that. Sometimes I hear their problem. I cannot do anything. I cannot particularly do anything, but at least I can be fully open. And I can see my full openness to listen. It's already a helping. That's all I can do. I can just fully there. Of course, I can give a hug. That helps. But my fully being present and they know I'm there, it's helping. My not judging them, it's helping. My not criticizing them, it's helping. So just simply think, how would you treat your best friend when somebody is in trouble? Which way you will express your kindness? Which way you will express your kindness to your best friend who is in pain? Just learn from that. Learn from that. When you are in pain, just do the same way. First of all, don't criticize. Don't even repeat so many times. If you say, I have a problem, it looks like sometimes people have a problem, it looks like a mantra, like, I have a problem, I have a problem, you tell one friend, I have a problem, please make sure the other friend hears it, that I have a problem. You send emails, send Facebook page and something, you write a book about your problem. Does it help? Maybe you feel like helping. I don't think that is the good approach. So just when you feel a pain, the way to be kind to yourself, just be open. Just be open. The real meaning of kindness, or we talk about, and in Buddhism we talk about ultimate compassion. Ultimate compassion means basically being fully open to that situation. Like when we short meditation that we did, when you go into that space, if you are able to go into that space, then you host your pain in that space. Like a mother carrying a child in her lap. The space that mother would have for that child, the connection that mother would have for that child, the warmth that mother would have for that child. So your awareness of that great boundless space is the mother who has ultimate compassion to heal. And you bring that pain in that inner space. That's the very important part. Because that space is beyond condition. That space is very powerful. That space is very strong. That space has the ability to cut through things. You cannot mess around that space. And if you're able to bring anything within that space, that's really the way of being kind to yourself. Otherwise, that would be like I don't know, what would be a good example? God comes in front of you, or the Buddha comes in front of you when you're in trouble. We will like that. But it is like a God, the inner God. It is like a Buddha, inner Buddha, within yourself, and has a power to heal. But imagine if you looked at a sense of meaning of the kindness as a two weak person trying to be nice to each other. One weak person is complaining to another weak person. Another weak person is saying, I get it, I have the same problem, let's give a hug to each other. I don't have a problem with that. But that is not the best hug you can get. Seek hug with somebody who is strong, not who is weak like you. Of course, in some sense, I understand when I talk like this, I can understand people's, what are you talking about, You're talking about God, or you're talking about, sounds nice, but who is that? Of course, when I say, too weak person, or you can understand immediately, trying to be nice to myself, be gentle to yourself. The one who is trying to be nice, you can see it's weak also. The one who's trying to be nice is also weak. The one who is trying to be nice to is for sure officially weak. The one who is trying to help that, trying to be nice, unofficially weak. They are both weak. Maybe little differences. Not much differences. That's the delusion I think sometimes we have. But somehow I think it's very difficult to understand another way of being nice, because the other way of being nice, what we call wisdom way of being nice, or that unconditional way of being nice, we don't have so much clue of that experience. We don't know very much. So the way I guide, when I do guided meditation, I know we have done in the past here also, that is that first trying to know who is trying to be nice, then trying to know whom you're trying to be nice. So who, if you have a choice between somebody very strong and somebody a little weak, you would choose the stronger one if you have access to. If you don't have a stronger access to the stronger one, you choose whatever access you have. So if you look inside, say, I'm who? There's a ego, a personality, nice ego, kind ego, compassionate ego. And when I look inside, I see a nice ego, compassionate ego. I love this ego. I'm talking to my ego saying, are you wanting to be nice to me? Then ego says, of course I want to be nice to you. I'm here to help you. So be nice to me. Okay? So my ego is kind of expressing to myself, kind of being a little bit gentle, speaking a little soft, whatever it's trying to do, it's just talking nicely, and I'm feeling, okay, thank you, that's what I needed right now. I'm having some kind of a dialogue. I'm having some kind of conversation with my nice ego. And my ego is really helping me nice, and I'm feeling much better. And I say, in the end, I said, thank you, my nice ego. You helped me. And that's fine. That's fine. If that's all the access you have, that's fine. But if you have a stronger access to a stronger quality, which quality is when you come in this very moment, through that stillness, through that silence, through that spaciousness, the moment you feel absence of everything, absence of these negative thoughts, absence of the pain, absence of all these stories, absence of the person that you hate, absence of a situation that you don't like, and absence of everything. In that space, a moment, you tune into that inner space, a sacred space inside you. There's none of those exist there. Why none of those exist? Because ego, the one who's creating those, it's not there. That moment, you allow, you permit yourself, because you have a strength, you have a confidence to allow whatever the deep pain and emotion is, you allow it. Because that space does not prevent anything. It's open to everything. So when you feel your inner pain, you don't talk to inner pain. You don't negotiate with inner pain. You don't tell your story to inner pain, because inner pain has enough story already. You don't try to make your story better than your pain's story. No. You don't tell, you don't talk. What you do, like a good hug. When you give a good hug, sometimes we shake a little bit, right? Apart from that, you don't keep on talking while you're hugging, or keep on thinking. You don't do, you give a hug and check your mail behind the person's head. Do you? Send a text message, right? If somebody does that, that's not your good friend. When you give a hug, there is that stillness, there is that silence, there is that spaciousness, openness, there is a deep connection. That's all what there is. And those hugs are the most beautiful hug. It's just very open, very present, very sense of connection. It's everything in it. Same way, that space, from that space you're hugging. Same way. It's a big hug. Unshakable hug. Like sky never shakes. If you get a hug from sky, just imagine. Unshakable hug that you're receiving. And it's, in a way, it's not you are getting hugged. You're recognizing you have been primordially hugged. That you kind of lost that connection. But you're primordially, you're hugged. You just, in that moment you just realize, of course, I've been always hugged from that sacred space. The presence is always there. The warmth is always there. I just have to open my eye, feel it. I don't have to do anything. It's done. It's there. Just have to be aware. So the same kind of little bit, same sense of little taste, it's what you're trying to give to your pain. And that is, I think, it's a way of being kind, not punish. That is a way of being kind. If somebody feels that space, I think every kind of kindness manifests from that space. Every kind of kindness. What I mean by that is, when we say kindness, sometimes expression of kindness sometimes seems very weak. Some expression of kindness looks like a very weak, How many times you have noticed, how many times in your life you have noticed, sometime you have trying to be kind to somebody and it does not help. And that kindness, in some sense, weakens the person. And many times, parents, we know that, right? As a parent, we know that our kindness has a weakness. As a parent, I know, I'm probably many of you share this experience. We are weak. As when the child comes, we are weak. When we're trying to be kind, sometimes it's the wrong kindness. So sometimes if you're trying to be the same way, if you're trying to look at yourself as a child and trying to be that kind of kindness to yourself, from the child's point of view, great, I can eat burger every day. But from the bigger picture, that kindness is not good. So you want, in a way, sense of developing kindness will be strengthening your inner being, not weakening your inner being. Does that make sense? Is it making sense or not? I know you want to. I know everybody wanted to hear a little bit different than I'm trying to say. So I was thinking, oh, should I say what they wanted to hear, or should I wanted to say what I wanted to say? I said maybe the other kind of kindness they always hear. Maybe this is a little bit different. So maybe it's good to show the other aspect of the kindness, the stronger aspect of kindness. Okay. So when you are kind to somebody, what do you do? What is your expression of kindness? I'm talking about not theoretically, intellectually. I'm talking about what do you do in your real life? What do you do? Yeah.
You listen to them.
You listen to them. Okay.
I give them food.
What?
I give food.
Give food. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You know, different cultures, some. Yeah, what else?
I love them. Yes.
What is it?
I love them.
You love them, okay? Yes.
You empathize?
You empathize. Empathy, okay? Yeah, okay?
Smile.
What?
Smile.
Smile, okay?
I'm honest with them.
What?
I'm honest with them.
Trying to be honest with them, okay?
Be accepting.
What?
Be accepting of all of them.
Accepting, okay? Acceptance, okay?
Hold space.
What?
Hold space for them to have whatever they're going through.
Okay.
Sometimes you cry with them.
What?
Sometimes you cry with them.
Cry with them.
Cry with them.
Sure, okay.
Acknowledge them for positive things that they have done or been for you or for them for others.
Okay. Yes.
Say a prayer for them.
What is it?
Say a prayer.
Say a prayer, okay.
I see them whole.
What is it?
I see them being whole.
Okay. What else?
I tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Give them your time.
What is it?
Give them your time.
Give them your time.
Encourage.
What?
Encourage.
Encourage.
I allow them to be where they are. When I had a child die because they're trying to fix things, and it felt very unkind, but they thought maybe it was fine.
Okay.
I help them see what they need.
Okay.
Be patient.
Okay. So as you can hear, you know, what everybody shared, everything's correct, right? Everything what is shared, I feel completely right. We all have different ways to be kind. And in a way you are expressing what you're expressing based on your own personal experiences, what you needed, or you felt the need of that kind of things, you are trying to express that same thing to others. That makes sense? If I would not say that what I would say if I don't have a place of reference. I would only say things that I know. As you said, I went through that. I know somebody go through that. I know what somebody needs. That's what I'm trying to give somebody. So we all somehow have our own reference, what we're trying to give to somebody. So, for example, sometimes people, I know sometimes people I know that they suffer a lot because they say, I really trying to be kind to my family member or my parents who is very old and sick and dying, something. They're suffering. They're suffering because they're trying to be kind. I'm suffering. I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be nice. If you suffer when you're trying to be nice, can you be nice? If you're feeling pain and trying to help somebody's pain, maybe sometimes you're feeling more pain than the person you're trying to help who has a pain. Can you help? No. Sometimes, simply with inner strength, with inner confidence, with inner trust, the ability to allow the event as it is. Not trying to change. Because maybe you cannot change. But being in that process, recognize that is a great help. But if you don't recognize being in that process is help, you can only consider that help is to change the event, you are in trouble. And many people are in trouble all the time. I see all the time people suffering. They are not able to change. Even themselves, when they're going through their ages, like you're getting old. The same thing. You're trying to change your aging, you suffer more than the aging. But if you be with that aging, allow that aging, it's okay. There's no label saying aging is bad. It's your label that you take it out. You don't put that label. You put, I'm living. If you're aging, it's a good sign. There are many people that we know, they don't age. They did not have a fortune or luck to aging. You're aging, you're lucky. You lived, you're living, you're a lucky one. So, what I'm trying to say here is that the inner experiences of whatever challenges is there, that giving a space, somebody said, giving a time, somebody said, giving attention, being honest. Being honest means not trying to manipulate with the conceptual mind. Being honest means being with what is the honest way of being. Being not honest means trying to change what is. What is the truth. Being with the truth is being honest. Trying to change what is, it's manipulating. That's not being honest. So it's just giving that big space to yourself, and to others. If you are able to give that to yourself, you will be able to give that to others. So, the power, the real power of the self-kindness is in that openness toward whoever needs that kindness. The more like a conventional sense of kindness is really like trying to, conceptually trying to be nice, like trying to talk to somebody. We do like as humans, we support a lot each other. We do that lot, and we should do that lot, but eventually we said, it's enough, it's okay. I don't need to talk to anybody anymore. I'm fine. Feeling that is the reason why you feel that, because you have some inner strength. That inner strength is the best inner kindness, the ultimate kindness. It doesn't weaken you, it makes you strong. Sometimes people, you see, as a society, sometimes you see people are so sensitive. You don't even know how to talk to them, Everything you would say, it's chance they can read it wrong. You say, I love you. We're weak, very weak. In Tibet they say Nagas, the underwater spirits are very weak. You have to do rituals every day to them. Human beings looks like that. You have to do rituals all the time to them in order to keep them happy, If you miss one morning ritual, then you're in trouble. Oh, I forgot to say I love you this morning. What's going on? You forgot to tell me you love me today. So just saying I love you, is that enough? Do you feel like it's enough? Oh, you said you love me. Oh, thank you. I'm happy today. I was told I'm beloved. You know what I'm talking about? When you feel like that, oh, I've been told I love you, and I'm feeling very good. So if you look at that little kid in you, and one day if you miss the expression of love, it will be suffering. Do you like that part of you? It's okay, but be aware of that. It's the problem maker. You don't want it to be too close to that, unless you want it to be weak. If you want it to be strong, don't be too close to that. If somebody loves you, you know somebody loves you. You don't have to. I know, like a little bit in the West, this is one of the cultural differences, East and West. In the West, so much expression, I love you, I love you, I love you, honey. I always joke about it now. I mean, you say a sweet, nice word like a honey, but then you look at like a honey. So that honey does not mean anything, right? You know that. So not be so dependent on those words. If somebody loves you, you know somebody loves you. If somebody says it or not, then you know that. If somebody does not love you and know how to recite the mantra, I love you mantra, don't get fooled with that. So in the same way within yourself, you don't want it to fool yourself that way either. Oh, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. Don't do that also. Which self? Who? Whom? Very confusing. Who is loving whom? Look inside for a moment. Who is loving whom? It's like a game. both the one who is loving and the one who needs the love, in the absence of both, you have the presence of the best kindness. The best kindness is just presence there when the lover and the object of love, when the both are not there, the best love is present. Why? Because there is no hate. There's no discomfort. It's just a pure presence. And then whatever expression of genuine sense of love will come out, it will come out there. And it will only come out when somebody needs the love, not when the lover needs to love. When the object of compassion needs the compassion, compassion would be present. When the one who has a compassion needs it, it's not like that. Many times it's like a parent, I need to love children. You can see, right? I need to love my children. It looks like sometimes it looks like the need to love. It's more like a parent than the child. It's the same thing inside also. So when you're able to love, somebody was saying about trying to understand somebody's needs. That's absolutely right. It's very right, but it's very hard to not get confused between your need and somebody's need. You should do what I want to do you to do because I love you. That's the really like a work. As a spiritual work, as a personal work, it always seems like something that you have to work on allowing somebody's freedom. What really somebody needs it. What really somebody needs it. Giving that space is the kindness. Giving space is not easy. Okay, so anyway, some questions here. Okay, so we're gonna have some questions. Yeah. Yes.
How do you know how to be skillful when someone comes to you when you need to have, I'd call it wrathful kindness, or syrupy kindness? Because as you say, sometimes being open and kind is not the best thing for somebody, and you have to be a little stronger, like a child. How do you know when someone comes to you how to act?
So the question is that how do you know to have to understand the boundaries of your kindness, how you help somebody, not always giving, right? That's the question. Yeah, first of all, I think it's very hard to know at that particular moment unless you know yourself a little bit better prior to that moment. I think it's always, if you're very, very clear in yourself, if you feel that the same thing, like more like understand the boundaries, that unlimited space, unbounded space in yourself, the boundaries of the limitations of conditions. If you understand these things inside yourself a little bit better, then you are prepared to respond to the situation when that situation comes. But if you are not prepared in yourself, or you're not relating with yourself in that way, then I think it's very hard to give that to somebody also. Sometimes it's very strange, like in the name of love, there's a war. In the name of love, there is a fight. In the name of love, people hurt each other. In the name of love, people divorce. Everything is in the name of love. But that doesn't look like love. But the actions of love, the conducts of love, it's different than what is happening, because that's a distorted love. So it's basically, it's not even a love, it's a condition. It's trying to find its way through the expression of the love because it sounds nicer. So I think sometimes it's not love. Sometimes what we think is love, it's not love. So that's why I'm saying sometimes to try to be a little bit more open. It's much more having a loving quality to other people. For example, look at in your relationships in your life, friends, your kids, families. How many people would say it's the right thing to be kind to your family member? Everybody will say yes. It's important to be kind to your family. And if you ask every family member, you say what you want from this other family member, many times they would say openness. Not like a patting them, I love you. Not those collective pain dinner during Christmas. Yeah, that's the collective family pain dinner, Supposed to be joyful. But at that dinner table, what really probably people want from each other as expression of kindness will be, just give me a little space. Yes, I talk a lot, but give me a space to talk. Yes, I'm always silent, let me be silent. Everybody's asking a different thing. Everybody asking, let me be, please. Let me be, let me be, let me be. Everybody, let me be mantra is moving around in every family member, like nobody's saying, no, nobody's saying that. I'll let you be if you listen to me because I love you. That's not a kindness. Kindness is to give what somebody wants. Okay, any other questions? Yeah.
We have an audience here on the internet of about 120 people consistently.
Okay.
You talked so far. We started a little bit slow on the internet end because we had some technical difficulties, so they missed the guided meditation in the beginning. But, and I don't know where everybody's from this time. I know there's somebody from Ukraine, there's somebody from France, we've got San Francisco and Crestone, Colorado. We do have one question from Crestone. He asks, where do you draw the line? He says, maybe the truth of samsaric reality is not so great, not so supporting. He says, do you just keep hosting it forever, or when do you change your external situation? So the idea of hosting versus changing your external situation.
Sure. So, the question is, samsara is not a fun place to be. So, in some sense of hosting versus when do you change, right? Or you keep on hosting and not change. Is that the question? Yeah. That's fine. So, what does change means? You have to look. What does change mean? Change does not mean rejection. Change does not mean negotiation. Change does not mean suppressing down. Or change does not mean, like a family we talk about, every family member is trying to change every other family members. They've been doing from since they have birth is given, the day one, they're trying to change each other. How many Christmas dinners they have? They have never succeeded to change each other. So trying to change each other does not help to change each other. When you host somebody, when you allow somebody to be who they are more receptive to listen. They're more receptive to whatever your wishes are, whatever your needs are. When you open to somebody, even the love, even the feeling of love towards somebody comes out when you're open, when you say, not when you're saying, you're already 30 years old, it's the time to, but now it's time to love somebody. You know, the love does not have a schedule. Love doesn't ages. Love doesn't follow this timetable. If there is a love which follows the timetable, which has a schedule, that's not called love. It's a false love. So a genuine and a true transformation only happen when you are open, when you host something. Because when you host something, it expresses itself. For example, feeling, this is what I'm talking about. When you're not feeling good, you can see that you don't like that feeling. You see, that you're happy inside, you say, I hate this feeling. I hate this feeling. I hate this feeling. I need to go to the doctor. I need to talk to a therapist. I need to talk to my friends. I need to tell them how bad I feel. I hate this feeling. You're not hosting. And what you're feeling, it's like rejected. It's ignored, uncared. And therefore, it gets worse. It gets worse. Health conditions, many times the pain and the sickness gets worse when you reject them. When you care them openly, when you care them, draw attention to them, bring that space, awareness, connection, warmth to them, they heal because they are expressing it out. Whatever needed to be expressed, because it's expression, pain is expression, sickness is expression, they needed to be released. So when you host, it releases things. Not when you expect things, when you schedule things. You know, like this example, one of my students, she said she and her mother having bad relationship, and she said, of course she has the intention, okay, this practice helps to change somebody. Yes, then I wanted to practice this. So she's practicing singing Om, and just now thinking my mother should change in 6 months, right? So I'm going to do this practice diligently for 6 months, and I hope in 6 months she should change. You see, she have no clue that she is not willing to change at all the idea about changing her mother. She's not. And she's doing and practicing like that. Every practice, she's more conscious of needing her mother to change than the practice of awareness. Forget about the practice of awareness. Unconditional awareness, forget about it. Totally fixated idea about mother needed to be changed. That doesn't help mother to change. In a way, probably only reason her mother is not changing, it's her. She gives a little space, hosts what mother's need and pains, her mother will change. So for sure, keep on hosting, and things will change. Trust when you host, when you open to see, things will change. Does that make sense? So don't push, don't force. Everybody has its own schedule to change, you know. So you just be open to that. Yes?
So how would you know where the line is between being kind to yourself and kind of just letting yourself off the hook to not do the things that you might be responsible for or that would be important to do in your life? Because I'm being kind to myself. How would you know the line there?
So how would you know? So how would you know to draw a line?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm being kind to myself, so I'm not going to do the dishes, or I'm not going to do this writing, or I'm not going to do something else because I'm being kind to myself. How should you know the difference?
Is Peter here? That's just a joke. So So how where to draw the line to be kind to yourself, right? So basically, so again, I think the point is the same thing, that you're telling yourself, okay, I'm kind to you. I'm kind to yourself today. I'm kind to myself today. Don't do the dishes. Okay, I don't know that works that well. I'm trying to be kind to being myself, that to see how appreciative my husband is when I do the dishes, how much he appreciates or something like that. There could be another way of being kind also. So the idea of like basically kind to trying to be kind to oneself in certain addictions that one will have. I mean, it's not, well, I don't like to do the dishes. Of course, if you have the dishes, you got to do the dishes. If you don't, the only way to not to do the dishes, don't have the dishes. Then you are free from that. In Tibet, everybody has one cup, right? One cup. And the wooden cup. They carry with themselves. They never wash. They lick it. It's hygienic. It's clean. It's never messed up with anybody else. It's just in there. And that's one. There's no dish to do. I'm not suggesting that. But anyway, I think the idea of trying to be kind to yourself, it's just whenever, of course, sometime when you feel something like that, it's okay. But there are certain conditions where being more open, being more trying to go beyond, like this kind of treating like a child oneself, trying to be more adult oneself, trying to be more strong oneself. So, trying to break the fear of not wanting to wash dishes. Like you wanted to find a way to wash dishes. Basically, bottom line is you wanted to wash the dishes, not wash the dishes. So how you wash the dishes? As expression of being kind. When you are open enough to yourself, and that one who hates washing dishes, I hate wash dishes. Not to say, yes, don't wash dishes today. Don't go there. Host in that space. Let it breathe. Breathe. Now go and wash the dishes. Yes, you let it breathe in, like children. How you do the children? If they're like kind of making a noise, don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. Okay, come. You give a hug, give a little time, little breathing, and then there's no negotiation here, right? You got to do it. But you get a hug. Hug for doing it. Hug not for doing it. So, the same way, I think. Yeah, the last one.
There's a question from the internet. It says, Rinpoche, how would this, what you're talking about here, hosting, etc., be applicable to bad habits such as smoking?
Yeah, sure. So, I think the question is like the hosting in relation to the bad habit and addictions. I think in a way, personally, I think it's a great way of overcoming addictions, And when you, for example, when you decide something, let's say this way, when you decide something, how you can be successful in the decisions that you make. When decision is made in that unbounded space, when the decision is made from that power, confidence, from that strength, that decision has a power to change the life. But when you make the decision from that place of confusion, or from that place of doubt, from that place of uncertainty, then you say, I will not smoke if I don't get the cigarette, or something like that. Decision doesn't work. So clearly, I think when, for example, desire to smoke should be host in that space, because that space is being so kind to that addictions. That space has a healing quality to that addiction. That awareness has a healing quality to that addiction. It's the best. If you host it, you get more strength and power and healing to overcome addictions, for sure. I have no doubt about it. But when you try to make this decision in the place of confusion and doubt, it doesn't work. We know time after time it doesn't work. But you can say how? Well, you can say, I'm the first timer here. If I wanted to make some decision, what you would recommend? Of course, I would recommend a simple way. I would always say, take 3 pills, which is, in that moment before you make a decision, just be still. Just be trying to be still. Feel your body. Be silent. Be open. And long enough, you rest deep, deep into it. It's like a kind of nap, wisdom nap. Deep. The place where you forget about everything. Confusion is not there. Fear is not there. Doubt is not there. Even the desire to smoke is not there. You feel that space. Freedom. A little intent. May I be from smoking. Little intent. Intention has so much power in that right sacred space. That's all you do. In right space, you have a simple, genuine intention. It's far more powerful than any contract that you will sign with hope and fear. They don't work. So yes, that makes sense. And sometimes even the idea of, I have many personal experiences, sometimes even it's not so much that you plan to make a decision about something. So for me, some of the big decisions in my life, they just came. They just came to me. The only I'm trying to be is just to be in the right space. And they just came. And I said, okay. That's all. There was not much negotiation, discussion there. But any time when I'm wanting to do something and I push to do something, most of the time it never works. Never works. And it gives hard time to myself, hard time to other people. It never works. So trust that ultimate sense of being kind to yourself. And of course, that conventional sense of being kind to yourself, as long as necessary, it's okay, but don't be conditioned by that. That makes sense? I'm not saying not to do it, I'm saying not to be conditioned by that. The ultimate way of being kind to yourself, to be fully open to yourself. If you're fully open to yourself, you will be able to be open to other people, especially at the Christmas dinner. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.